Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Honestly, without Treasure Coast Community Health, I think we'd be a much poorer community in terms of our health. We're always striving to fill the gap for everyone in the community, rich or poor.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Community Conversations. I am so pleased to be here today because, as always, we have some exciting conversations to be had. Treasure Coast Community Health is a nonprofit, and this week's guest is also a nonprofit, one of 200 in the community, I might add. But in addition to existing relationships and collaborations, we're always meeting new people who bring energy and enthusiasm to what they do. And so I'm pleased to recognize and say thank you for taking our invitation to come, LaToya Bullard.
Thank you.
So you have an organization called Miss B's Learning Bee.
Yes, Miss B's Learning Bees.
So tell us about that. Where is it located? And it sounds like a little kids thing, but just before the microphones turned on, you said, no, it's older kids. So tell us more.
Yes, Miss B's Learning Bees is a local after-school program that focuses on providing school-age children ages 5 to 17 with academic support and behavioral support services. We primarily serve children from high-poverty communities. We primarily serve children from one of our 5 high-poverty communities, which are Sebastian, Wabasso, Oslo, Central Vero Beach, and South County. And Fellsmere.
But who's counting?
Who's counting?
Okay.
Who's counting?
Come one, come all is
right,
what I get.
Right.
Okay.
So we have our neighborhood hubs. We now call them beehives, the beehive.
Ah.
So we have 2 beehives located in our community. One, which is the Intergenerational Center in Oslo, off of
South
Oslo
End.
Road.
Okay.
And then our second one is located in Sebastian, which is the West Wabasso Outreach Center. So on Google, it's called Sebastian, but to us, it is Wabasso.
I understand.
Yes.
I was like, show me where Gifford is on this map.
Right?
It's really called Vero Beach. No, wait a minute. It's okay. It's what happens when little towns grow up.
Yes.
And the post office says, no, we're going to do this differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I still called some of the streets by their old names. So, yeah, it's okay.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit about how the students find their way to you and what your mission is once they do.
So our mission is to help children from high poverty, to provide children and families from high poverty communities academic support and behavioral services to help them reach mastery in the areas of math and science.
Ah.
And so the way parents find us, or what we've done traditionally, is we relied on word of mouth. But because we want to increase our impact and expand our reach, this past year we've had the opportunity to partner and collaborate with some local organizations to make sure that their children are able. The populations that they serve are able to take advantage of our services, and our population is able to take advantage of their services.
Can you give me an example?
Yes. So an example of some of those relationships would be the School District of Indian River County, the Department of Juvenile Justice, Tykes and Teens, Treasure Coast Community Health, because they're going to be doing our mental health component, as well as Substance Abuse Council of Indian River County, New Horizons Mobile Crisis Unit.
You've really reached out to a lot of collaborative partners.
Yes, and we still have a few more. Yes, but it's working really well. So let me tell you a little bit about our new initiative. Our new initiative is called Project Cope, where we are cultivating opportunities for children to be promoted and empowered.
The goal, I got it.
Thank you. Our goal is to provide wraparound services for our at-risk students. So we've always served children from high poverty communities, but we've noticed a small population within our community that had not been served previously. And they are at-risk male students, those boys or the young men or the young women that are currently involved in the Department of Juvenile Justice. These students are not doing well in school. They are constantly in the office missing class. And then they're involved with the juvenile justice system, which there have not been a lot of services to help bring these children back on the right track. And so what Miss Bees what Miss Bees Learning Bees is now doing through Project Cope is we are providing wraparound services. And there is a word that it's called a continuum of care.
Yeah.
Yes.
One those of us in healthcare are very familiar with.
Yes. So we are providing a continuum of care through education as well as the healthcare services. So what we are doing is we are partnering, as I said, with the school district. We're hoping to bring in Head Start, but to begin providing applied behavioral analysis, which historically has been used to help children with autism. Well, we want to use it to help children with problem behaviors. And we want to improve their behaviors so that they're able to sit in the classroom, so that our teachers can teach, so that our students can learn. Yes.
It is a very difficult time in our history in terms of reorienting us back pre-COVID to appropriate behaviors like getting up and going to school, for example. You know, when we kept our kids home, that became the new norm. And now they're like, why do I need to get up and go to school, man? Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of transitioning back, and behaviors are a huge part of that, because you don't want you don't want to mentally beat up on the kids.
Definitely.
But it is a very difficult transition, particularly as they are in the preteen and teenage years.
Definitely.
And they know everything. As a mother of a 14-year-old. So tell us about Project Cope. Is that volunteer run? Is that something that you're collaborating with, like Tyson Teens?
Yes, so Project Cope, as I stated a little bit earlier, is our new initiative to reach at-risk children that are already within our population. If you think about high poverty children that live in high poverty communities, you know that they've experienced a tremendous number of traumas. So our research all began around this new word or hit word that everyone is using is trauma. And we understand that trauma can be tremendous. It can be really impactful. However, we noticed that children in the research, children that deal with a lot of traumas in the earlier part of their lives, they begin to display behaviors and continue to display behaviors throughout their development. What we've learned is that those behaviors can be prevented if we provide the proper interventions and we get the proper support. So our continuum of care was designed to incorporate those interventions and those supports to help children become the best picture of themselves, a whole, complete picture of themselves. The mental health counseling, substance abuse awareness, applied behavioral analysis, academic support. We are filling in all of the gaps that they've had throughout their growth and development.
And so basically, I hate to simplify it so much, but when I think about growing up 100 years ago, we had a lot of role models in our grandparents and our aunts and uncles, because at that point in history, the majority of women were not working outside of the home. And so it sounds like this is very much going back to that historical time where that support system is there. You didn't have to wait for Dad to come home to know you were in trouble. Mom and her two sisters had already read you the riot act if you had done something wrong, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you're filling in that time after school when so many parents are working.
Yes, we live in a public service community. our parents are either working 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 7 to 7, 11 to 7, or 8 to 8.
Wow.
And so because of those hours are hours that our children need us the most. And so what our after school program does is exactly what you said. We are building in that support. We're also helping to meet the crisis of the mental health desert that has been created in our community. As I stated earlier, applied behavior analysis is something that has been used traditionally for children with autism, for parents who were able to afford the service.
Right.
We are bringing this service to children from high poverty communities so that they are able to benefit from the impact of applied behavioral analysis.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
So we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsors. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some of your other existing programs, a little bit about funding, because I don't want people to say, well, I can't afford that. We'll talk about that. Be right back. Treasure Coast Community Health in-house pharmacies have the lowest prices in Indian River County, even lower than big box pharmacies. Taking your medication as prescribed leads to better health. Affordable medicine makes it easier. Treasure Coast Community Health patients can pick up medicine as they leave the office or use free delivery and mail order services. Pharmacists are always available to answer questions. Switch to TCCH pharmacies. Save money, stay healthy. 772-257-8224 and ask about our price match.
People living with Alzheimer's or dementia can truly thrive at Certus Premier Memory Care Living. Certus provides a cutting-edge, research-based approach to memory care that treats the whole person, not just the symptoms of their memory illness. At Certus, our whole person approach to care helps bring more joy to their days and create wonderful new memories. Come take a tour. Certus at Vero Beach is at US 1 and 53rd Street. Certus Premier Memory Care Living, where every moment matters.
Your grandkids struggle. You've helped your kids through their struggles. What about yours? Back in your day, nobody talked about feelings, emotions, or mental health. Times have changed. It's your time to unstruggle. When life is a struggle, getting help shouldn't be. Unstruggle.org.
Hi, Scott here, your host and MC of Hot Jams Trivia, and I'm here to tell you about the Major League Trivia happening now through Labor Day. 3 great locations for you to play: Waldo's Monday from 7 to 9, the Boiler Tuesday from 8 to 10, and the Kilted Mermaid Thursdays from 8 to 10. Get your teams together and plan on being a part of the fun, music, and a little drink while you think. Grand prize will be a weekend getaway at the Hampton Inn and Suites, located in the heart of the Springs and Horse Country in Ocala, Florida. Like us at Major League Trivia on Facebook for more information.
Start your day with fuel in your tank with breakfast at Marsh Landing. You'll love our biscuits and gravy, sweet potato pancakes, or eggs Benedict with a fried green tomato. And how about a mimosa or a Monster Bloody Mary? It's breakfast, old Florida style, at Marsh Landing in Fellsmere.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. My name is Vicki Soule, and if you're just joining us, Treasure Coast Community Health sponsors this program so that we can keep you up to date on all the local goings-on. We have some very, very interesting conversations, but I would be remiss if I didn't invite you all, those particularly that might not have a regular doctor or dentist, healthcare provider for mental health, or looking for pharmaceuticals that don't cost an arm and a leg. We do home delivery, and it's really sort of like the old doctor's clinic. Someone reminded me of that this morning. One-stop shopping, so that you don't have to repeat yourself over and over and over again. Same smiling faces greet you at the door. So if you're looking for a healthcare provider from cradle to grave, 257-8224 or 257-TCCH is the number you'll call. Today I have a new friend with us, LaToya Bullard, who is here telling us about Miss Bees. And I shortened your name already. So bring us back up to date for those that might have just joined us.
So we've been discussing our new initiative, Project COPE. COPE stands for Cultivating Opportunities to Promote and Empower, which is our new initiative to focus on a population that has been underserved in our community, and is our population of, I call them at-risk male students, but they are males that are involved in the juvenile justice system. And our goal is to help get them back on the right track.
So there's many after-school programs. GYAC comes to mind. But they expect the children to meet certain behavioral standards, shall we say. And the children that you have don't always do that. Is that a fair assumption?
Very fair assumption. We do not have the requirement of perfect behavior because we understand that there are some other underlying issues that can prevent the expected behavior. And so our goal is to get in and unpack the behaviors that we don't understand so that we can help children better understand what they're feeling. And then from there, we're able to educate and to better assist and support because we've did the groundwork we've done the foundational work of understanding what those behaviors are. So where traditionally a child that is displaying problem behaviors, they would be removed from a program, we would not remove them. We would support them and provide interventions to help them correct the behavior so that they were able to continue learning.
You guys are like a rose among all the thorn bushes.
Yes.
Truly. We adopted some of our children, and our 8-year-old had been, I guess the current word would be, in a traumatic situation from birth, and was actually in trouble a lot, and they said he had very low IQ. Well, that was because he never had his butt in the chair to learn anything. He was under the table, shooting rubber bands or doing whatever in kindergarten, first, second grade. And so we actually found a program through our social worker at the time, and the change in him was absolutely remarkable. And he is, my other children now say, he's your favorite son, isn't he? I don't know. I love them all. They're all different. But it is so remarkable what that intervention can do for a child. They're not throwaways. It takes them longer sometimes because they sometimes, like addicts, will fall back on old behaviors because that's their comfort zone. But I hear you guys keep pulling them out and working with them with your collaborative partners. So that is really exciting. So I'm going to ask you to share, how do people that might be hearing us or seeing us on Facebook, how do they get a hold of you? And are there other things that might, before we get their hopes, are there other things that would make you say, no, I don't think you're the right program for your child?
No. Primarily,
that was a mouthful, wasn't it? I'm sorry. We'll break that down.
Yeah.
Let's start first with, how would people contact you?
People are able to contact us in one of 3 ways. They're able to reach us or connect with us through our website, which is missbeeslearningbees.org.
That's a mouthful.
Yes,
Miss Bees Learning Bees.
Yes, M-I.
Parentheses?
No parentheses, no commas, one word. And it says, forgive me, Miss BS Learning Bees, but please.
You got the idea.
Yes.
Okay. Phone number?
Phone number is 772-453-2714.
Okay, and you said earlier in the program that you've basically got 2 hubs, one in the southern part of the county and one between Sebastian and Wabasso, depending on which post office is addressing you. So I presume that you have some arrangements with the school district for drop-off transportation after school?
Yes, so both locations are accessible by buses from the school district. Our hub in the South County is accessible to Go Line, the school buses, as well as parent drop off and pickup. We go around the curb. The parking lot is extremely accessible to all size vehicles. At the West Wabasso Outreach Center, equally accessible, but the children may need to be dropped off, like the buses will drop them off at the stop sign and then they will walk up the road. But there's only a little transportation. There's a little community to the left and then it's the church. So it's a very short walk, not even a quarter mile before they actually reach the neighborhood hub. So we are made accessible through by our parents. So we have transportation that we are able to provide to help children to be able to reach us. Not only that, but our parents work together to share transportation. And we are also accessible because of the Go Line sites that are near us. We are accessible by Go Line. We hope there is a discussion with the district currently to make our locations or spaces near our locations bus depots. So then we'll have school district transportation, and the school district will be able to bring the students directly to us.
So the $64 question that we've not addressed is about money. It's always about money.
It's about the dollar.
It's always about the dollar. So tell us about that.
The cost for our families. We have a nominal fee of families that are able to afford it, $30 a week. For families that are not able to afford the fee of $30 a week, we are working with other organizations in the community that will provide the scholarship for them or some opportunities for scholarship. For example, Habitat for Humanities has a scholarship program for all of their residents. So all of the children enrolled in our program that are residents of the Habitat community, Habitat pays 75% of their scholarship and tuition fees.
And I know nominal does not mean the same as minimum. It's a suggested amount.
Yes, it is a suggested amount.
Okay.
And yes.
And you mentioned earlier that many of the parents whose children you see work unusual or overlapping shifts. So what kind of hours are you able to have the children in for?
So we provide services at the intergenerational site Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6 p.m. So our teachers are inside the classroom. We're working with students. We're receiving students as they come home from school. Our other children are walking over from Oslo Middle School. At the West Wabasso Outreach Center, we are still working to build up our population, but we are there on Mondays and Wednesdays. As the need increases, so will our availability.
You hear that, parents?
We want to be accessible to the community.
Okay. What other things would you like others to know about?
A couple of other things that I would like the community to know is that not only do we have an after-school program, but we also provide transportation that makes our services accessible to our students, as well as a food program. So the children that come into our program, they are not only being transported, but we're also feeding them. We have a huge food insecurity crisis in our community. And so to help meet the need and to help families overcome that food insecurity, we are partnered with the Florida Department of Health After School Food Program, where we provide healthy and nutritious snacks and meals to our families daily. So parents, the meals are provided daily, a snack as soon as they come in, a nice, substantial, full meal before they go.
A full meal before they go.
A full meal, not just pizza and juice, parents. We are required by the USDA to provide
veggies
full meal. Yes. Last night we had salad with carrots and tomatoes and fruit. It was so delicious.
That is so fantastic.
Thank you.
So what's the enrollment currently?
Currently, our enrollment is at 31. We have space for 84.
Okay.
So
lots of room to grow then.
Lots of room to grow, lots of space to grow, lots of resources that we have built in to provide for our students. And we want the community to take advantage of them.
So if we have someone out there like myself who says, this is really a fantastic thing, I don't need the services now, but I'd like to pay it back or pay it forward, repeat your phone number so that they have that opportunity to talk with you.
Our website is missbeeslearningbees.org, MISSBS learning, LEARNING, BEES.org. Our number is 772-713-4130.
LaToya, it's been a real delight. I wish you nothing but the very best, and I hope you can join us, our little healthcare clique at the 787 building, so that, again, we can have that continuity of care for all of our special assets in the community. Thank you. And thank you for being with us. I hope you spread the word to those that you know that might be interested in hearing about this new opportunity to help some of our most challenging but special children in the community. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week.